All right. Start with this topic of thank you for all of you guys who are watching today in this live stream, this YU podcast. Just to let you guys know, though, this is not actually live. This is actually pre-recorded. So, because we actually have a meeting today. So
actually,
I mean, on Thursday we have
today. While we are recording this podcast is currently Sunday, and it's 6:40. So you guys might see why I'm dressing like this.
Yeah, so
you're like, why are you dressing like this at 8 p.m. Thursday?
I know, for real. But it's actually Sunday, guys. We had to like pre-recorded this before, and we were actually thinking of the topic and everything, and so we're pre-recording this so we won't miss another day on Thursday.
Of course.
So we're live streaming it, and we're gonna live stream the video, but we're gonna edit this all out, and then we're gonna post it.
We still want you guys to comment, okay? Comment,
still comments,
like it, subscribe.
We'll still answer to it maybe later, but
or probably in the next video if you guys make a lot of questions. In the next video, we'll answer some of them live if we can.
Yeah, some of them live, some of them,
we're just gonna say thank you for your comment.
It's because the problem is if we have a meeting like on that Thursday with our media team, so we just planned out to once a month on a Thursday. We decide just to pre-record it and live stream it later.
So you guys don't miss the podcast and we don't miss the meeting. So just so we're all happy,
we all win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Anyway, guys, so we had this topic. This topic has been flying around. Well, this news has flying around for like, what has it been like? Oh, last week that I heard about it. You told me that you didn't hear about it that much.
I didn't hear about it, honestly. When you send me the video, I was like, well, this is kind of cool, because
like how they're making a movie about it.
Making a movie about it. You can see how people react, like the reaction of people of not knowing and actually who they really are, because like when I ask you something that you think that you know, but you actually don't know. Yeah. At least personally, I get frustrated. But some people react like if it's the other person's fault that they don't know it,
Yeah, exactly. And this topic has just been going around. Do you know who Matt Walsh is?
Well, actually, it's my first time. Like when you send me that, I hit that subscribe button because I mean I like it. Like
you like their channel. I like his channel. Or
yeah. No? Well, I went through. It was on top of the water. Let's say.
Oh. Okay.
So I just scrolled through these videos, but didn't watch
like that much.
Yeah.
It's produced by the Daily Wire. So he works for Daily Wire, and he used to make videos in his car. And
call me ignorant, but what's the Daily Wire? I don't know.
Well, the Daily Wire. Well, I don't know if many people even know about it, but it's pretty big amongst the conservative. Okay. Where they, conservatives believes in and they're pro-choice. They are, transgender issues. They're kind of different from the left, where they believe there's only two genders and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they like to debate stuff. So the Daily Wire is just really that. It's just a conservative company. It's a conservative company that makes content. So they do content on YouTube. They make movies. They make controversial.
Do they have newspaper?
I think so. They have. I think they push out articles. Yeah. If you subscribe to them, they have articles. It's almost like a Wall Street Journal kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And so you can just find articles and they
that's cool.
And they actually do research and stuff like that. But I actually he's one of my favorite. Matt Walsh. He's one of my favorite people on the show because he's so serious and so. I don't know. He looks so chill always. I don't know if you guys have watched it. Drop a comment if you have watched Matt Walsh. But he makes videos like this all the time. He talks about transgender issues, abortion and things like that. He talks all about that stuff. Something
that I really like when I was watching the video about him is that he is pretty straight up, but he's not disrespectful at all.
Yeah, and that's how.
Which is something that okay, so he's okay, cool, but why or how?
Yeah, and
it's straightforward.
Yeah, he was pretty straightforward. That's why I like him because he's just so straightforward,
but really respectful, which is something great.
Really respectful, but he seems I was watching this one YouTube video about like talking about this movie, and he was just like, oh, I like how Matt Walsh is so like monotone. I don't know how to explain it. Like so serious. Like he just like like, you know, like he doesn't like. He almost seems like he's agreeing with the person, like when he's talking, and like he's just funny. Like I don't know. He's funny in that way where he's just like so serious and so like monotone that it makes him seem like so. I don't know how to explain it. He seems so chill.
Okay, so it looks like he agrees with the people, but which I think it's a great example because it really shows what how we all should be.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I understand what you're saying. I respect what you're saying, but I know my beliefs though, so I'm not gonna change that. Pretty much.
Yeah, and he comes from like a position where he really wants to know the answer. Where he's like, "Oh, I've been asking this question. What is a woman?" for so long, and he said like it's been almost a year, he says, and like why, like wondering like what is a woman, you know, like, he always asks that question, and like he says and a lot that like the left, you know, people that are like very liberal, very left-sided, they don't even have an answer on what they say or what how to answer that question. So it's really funny, like for example, if you've seen the commercial where like they just ask him and they're
in that commercial, I see that he's asking professionals, and not even professionals give him like 100% like real answer. Let's say it that way, because it's like, well, a woman is whatever you want it to be, and I'm like,
it's really strange what they say in each of those like interviews. Full disclaimer, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I think this question, or even like looking at his what he says in his interviews, and even just a question in general, like you could I asked this question to my little sister, right? My Debbie. If you guys don't know who Debbie is, shout out to Debbie.
Shout out to Debbie. Chicken.
shout out to the chicken.
Oh my god.
Shout out to Debbie. Actually, talking about chicken, there's a chicken. In the one of, if you watch his YouTube channel, he says that he interviews one of the like girls. She's like a physician. She's like a doctor. And she helps out with transitioning. And it's so funny because they asked, well, what is a woman? He asked her that, and he's like, wait, then how do you know a chicken is a female? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, and she's like, well, you know, like, she like kind of puts herself in like a box, you know, because they can't answer. Well, you can't assume, like they start saying like, you can't assume a chicken is a woman. I was like, what? Like a female?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, so like, then what's the difference between a chicken that, you know, that lays an eggs and a chicken or a rooster, you know, but like, then what is the difference between a rooster and a chicken? And they're like, well, can a chicken, I think he kind of said like, can a chicken change gender? And and then the chicken, and then the person started saying, he's like, well, does the chicken have suicidal thoughts for like changing gender? And it's just like, doesn't have to do anything with knowing.
Like, that's not even.
It's so funny. Like, what? It's so weird. It's so weird. So he has an interview with one of those girls, and it's so funny. So funny. But yeah. And so like this show, this movie, like really asks a deep question. And I think even like our generation, struggles with answering that question. Like, what is a woman? What is a female? You know, like,
yes,
like,
I'm glad that you got into this point, because watching that video, I don't know if you got to the part when he's asking an old folk. He's like, "How do you know you're a man?" And he drops the word. He's like, he's sort of little, but like, but I got my member, you know, like I know.
Yeah, he says like, because of my genitalia. You know,
yeah,
like, he says that in the show. But he said another word. He said another word, but we can't say that because this is a Christian podcast.
Of course.
Jesus Loves Podcast.
Praise to Jesus.
And so he says that, and it's true, because like I asked you, like I said, I asked my sister, and I was like, what makes you a woman, or you know, why, like, what makes you a woman, you know? And then she just is kind of confused in the question. Like, she didn't know how to answer it. She was just like, I don't know, like.
But I'm glad that she know that she's a woman, though.
Yeah, obviously, because she knows it. Like, she's creative.
Yeah, I was like,
imagine, I'll be like, hello?
Yeah.
Like, spray time or what? Spray? And then I would just tell her.
Yeah. Let me pray for you. Kick out those demons.
But she was like all confused. She was confused. And I believe that, like, if you ask like I've even asked guys, I'm like, what is like, what is a woman? I mean, what is a man? Like, what makes you a man? Like,
Well, honestly, okay. With most of us straight guys and Christian unbelievers,
right.
if you ask them what is a man, they're gonna be like, okay, God make me a man. Or they're gonna answer like these old folk did. He's like, because of my member, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Debbie kind of answered with. She was just like, oh, because like God created me that way, and God made me like, I'm like, no, but like with like in a sense, what without like, obviously yes, God made you that way, but like what makes you a woman? And she still got like, she wasn't confused, but she was just like, that's a weird question.
Yeah.
Like, why do you ask me that?
Yeah.
You know, but
shout out to Debbie for giving a Christian answer. So
shout out to Debbie because she thought about Jesus first. Shout out to her, man.
Amen.
And so yeah, I mean, it was weird. Like it's a weird question, right? But I feel like a lot of youth and a lot of like our generation,
young adults
and young adults, Gen Z in general,
yes, very much.
It will be tough for them to answer that question, especially people that are not Christian.
Well, some millennials, you'll be surprised how many millennials there.
Yeah, what age is that? What age is millennial?
I think it's like from the 90s to the early 2000s.
Because we're Gen Z.
It's supposed to end in 99.
Yeah.
Or 98, something like that. I consider myself a millennial, even though I'm kind of like Gen Z, because I was born in
2000.
Yeah,
same year
2000.
As me.
Yeah.
And well, technically we are Gen Z, but why do you consider yourself millennial?
Because I grew up with millennials.
Oh, that's why you consider yourself. Yeah.
It's like asking a chicken why he's a chicken. He grew up with chickens.
Well, it's because
okay. Off topic, guys. Off topic. Parenthesis, like a pastor says. My grandma, she has like a farm. Okay.
Right.
Sometimes the eggs, she has too many eggs from chicken.
Right.
So she puts them with the dog's eggs.
Really?
And they are raised, and they believe that they're dogs.
Really? Do they quack? Do they try to quack or?
No, of course they pio, but
do they like? Does it look like they try to? They
follow the dogs like with the rest of the dogs. They don't. I'm not gonna say they behave like them, but you know, like while they're growing up, they're following what the dog does.
Really?
And I seen some of them trying to jump in the water.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they drown? They drown because they can't swim.
Well, because since I was with her, like in that little farm, I grew up there. Like you will be surprised how many chickens I rescue.
Really?
Yeah.
And they just like flap their way.
Yeah, they just flap their way. I was like, okay, I'm not a duck. I'm a chicken.
But they still try to follow like the mother duck and all that. Really?
Yeah, exactly.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, now you know.
That's crazy.
I set up off topic, but if we think about it really deep into it,
right?
It's kind of like what it shows, you know, like. Sometimes the absence of a father can like create like a big confusion in the kids.
Yeah.
So does the absence of the mother, you know.
Yeah, and it could create confusion and just things that happen in people.
And of course, I'm not saying that that's the only reason, because there's a ton of reasons why.
There's many reasons, and then there's also such thing as gender dysphoria. I don't know if you've heard of that, where people, it's almost like bulimia. Have you heard of bulimia? You know what bulimia is?
Yeah.
Where like they eat and they throw up.
Yep.
So it's.
I don't want to.
I don't know.
I'm scared of knowing what they practice.
No, but like I don't know how. Like, so they really like they just kind of gender dysphoria, or they believe that like gender dysphoria is more about like these people. You know, they have dysphoria. They don't know what gender they are, and so it's proven to be a psychological problem with these people. And even in the movie, it shows that there's psychologists that affirm like they do, their job is to affirm what gender you think you are, you know what I mean? Like, for example, if you were my psychologist, right? And I came to you and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I feel like a woman now. What should I do? These people actually like ask you like, hey, what do you feel? Like, he's like, what do you want to be? What is your plans in 5 years? And these are sometimes kids that are like 5 years old.
Wow.
You know, imagine.
Oh yeah, because I seen that he confronts this lady for selling this drugs type of thing to the kids that like
Yeah, and it castrates pedophiles.
Yes.
Yeah, and like they decide it, and then they give them these drugs that castrates pedophiles. But like in the topic of, I think and I think it attacks Christian kids too, because like you said, it's almost like that chicken that hangs out with all the ducks. Mm-hmm. Where on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, all over social media, like they're shown things like this. Maybe you'd say like, oh no, I don't really follow those people, but like a lot of them are shown like these kind of things on social media. Like for example, things like transgenderism and LGBTQ problems. You know, they how to explain it? They're exposed a lot more to it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like on TikTok, they scroll up and sometimes they will probably see things about LGBTQ affirming stuff like, hey, if you believe that we are, you know, it's a sin. Sometimes they even deal with it in a Christianity sense. We're like, oh, do you think it's a sin? Or if you don't like what I do, that means you're a bigot. And so some people, like a lot of young people, you know, they can get confused because in church they tell them, you know, it's a sin and we love them, but we don't accept them in their sin.
Yeah.
But they go on TikTok and they see people saying, you're a bigot, you hate me for that. And then these young people are like, well, do I really hate it? And so they end up believing what the world says.
Yes.
Then even, you know.
Because, you know, actually, I was having a conversation with my brother. He won't let me lie. We were having this conversation, I believe it was a couple of days ago, last night. I really don't remember.
Right.
That he's like, yeah, but like, you know, like lesbianism, gay and all that, it's a sin. And I'm like, well, yeah, it is a sin as much as lying, as much as killing, as much as robbing.
Yeah.
Like it's just another sin.
Right.
Because I was telling him, there can be like me being a Christian my whole life. And right before I die, I sin. And pretty much it's everything I did. It was like, in vano, you know, kind of like, well, you're saying, sadly, I'm going to hell.
Right.
Such as a person, and I'm not saying that you go like, oh, you're going to repent in the last moment, because it doesn't exist.
Well,
you can.
Well, you can. But it's, how do you?
But if you have that plan, it's kind of like, are you really asking for forgiveness? Or it was a plan that you have, you know?
I like to tell them like, okay, if you really do have that plan, that's it. I mean, it could happen, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, how do you know you're not going to die today of a car accident?
Exactly.
Without being able to tell anybody.
That's what I was telling him. Like right before they're dying right now and they ask for forgiveness, they accept the Lord in their heart, they're gonna go to heaven. But like, how do they know when they're gonna die?
Yeah, how do you know when you're gonna die? How are you gonna be able to take that decision?
Because like, even though it's kind of like cruel to think about it, like right now we can finish this podcast. I can say bye, man, I love you, see you tomorrow, and go and take off and crash, and I crash and I die. You know?
Yeah, I like how you just put it out there that you love me.
Perfect.
Love you too, man.
In the love of Christ.
I love you in Christ too, bro.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah, bro. Every time we finish calls, we say I love you sometimes. Yeah, it's so funny. But it's because we love him. I love him as Christ.
Yeah, okay. We don't even need to say no homo no more.
Yeah, we don't even say homo because it's in Christ.
Yeah. We know it. Okay?
Yeah, anyway, and so in that sense, it affects a lot of young people. I talk to young people in churches that, you know, they're Christian, and I'm sure they are Christian, right? Mm-hmm. But I ask them about like, you know, homosexuality and all those things, and they're like, oh yeah, well maybe we can like love them and maybe they will go to heaven. And then like I have to explain to them again. I'm like, hey, no, like, you know, TikTok lies to you. Like,
yeah,
it's not true. Like,
just because I love him doesn't mean that he's going to heaven.
Yeah, even if like let's say we find out. Because the thing is with homosexuality is people say like, it's something that I was born with. You know, it's like they become that identity. Mm-hmm. It's like I am that. Like I'm that.
They're way too attached to it.
Yeah, they're like saying if you're saying I'm not that, then you're rejecting me. You know what I mean? It's not like an alcoholic where you tell them, hey, you're an alcoholic, and they know they're an alcoholic, but they're okay with being an alcoholic.
Yes,
and they're like. And you can tell them, like, I hate that you're an alcoholic. They won't take that in a sense, an offense. Most of them won't take it in offense because they won't say, oh, but that's part of me. You know what I mean? Yeah. In a sense, I know some.
Because I mean, well, when they're drunk though.
Yeah.
They'll be like, no, this is part of me when they're drunk.
Well, but when they're like,
because like when they're sober, they know they have that problem.
Yeah.
They're just okay with that problem, and some of them they're not okay with the problem.
But they are
way too attached to it.
But they don't get angry at the fact that they're alcoholic.
Yeah, because they get sad because they know
that you rejected their alcoholism.
Yeah.
But it's that's why it's different with homosexuality, because they take it as their identity. Yes. And so when you say that's a sin, and you say like I reject your sin or homosexuality, they take it as you rejected me. You know, and it's really sad. But yeah, with the young people, they start thinking and they get filled with this stuff. And I that's why I think that having this kind of conversation with these people,
yes,
like tell them, hey, you know, a man is a man and a woman is a woman. God created them man and woman.
Yes. Because I mean, honestly, it's sad because it's scientifically proved that God exists.
Right.
It's scientifically proved. We are not even going to argue or have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
Because it's already proved.
Right.
But now they're how were you saying these guys that go to therapy, the therapist?
Yeah, the therapist.
What do they practice? Psychology.
Oh, psychologist.
Yeah, psychology. Okay. But psychology want to tell you something else, you know?
Yeah, or science even.
Yeah,
sometimes
science even.
Yeah,
but like
they use science against.
Yeah, they use science against Christianity. Even though they can defeat, because there is proofs, you know, there's history, there is physical proofs that God sent Jesus, and Jesus was rose from the tomb like on the third day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is no excuse that Jesus is not real, because he is real and he lives here.
Right.
And here.
Yeah, and so speaking of that, like that's the truth.
Yeah.
And what this movie was trying to do is trying to get out the truth, like with asking the question. And when these people are asked the question, the fact that they like, what is a woman? You know, they're asked that, and they're like, well, I don't know what is a woman. You know, like, and then they're like, well, and there's a point where he says, well, I like to watch soap operas, or I like to watch telenovelas. Does that make me a woman? And they're like, no, like, yeah, maybe. Like they kind of don't know how to answer it.
Yes.
And then so what causes is like they don't really have a truth. You know what I mean? They just kind of have a subjective, like whatever you feel.
Yes, exactly.
Is what is true.
Which is kind of like sad, and sorry for this, but it's kind of dumb as well. Why? Because it's like me robbing, and since I think it's okay to steal something, I shouldn't be going to jail.
Yeah, because you think it's not.
Because I think not because you guys are doing something wrong or whatever, but the fact that you think that you're doing something right, that doesn't make you be right.
Right.
And trying to finish what I was telling you guys.
Right.
I was telling that it's sad because like since they can prove Christianity wrong,
yeah,
they try to put the world more against us.
Yeah.
Like make it seem like it's our fault. Christians' fault.
Yeah.
That all this is happening.
Yeah. And it's they try to put the blame that all these people are getting like depressed and killing themselves because of Christians, and they're rejecting them and they're rejecting them.
I feel like Akon's song, you know, so you can put the blame on me. When I was in the world, no more. Yeah.
Oh my. And then so they actually don't know what the truth is anymore. They kind of just see like what is true, and when you don't show them what's actually true, when they don't know what's true,
or when they don't like the truth, you know, they don't like it,
they like to mix it, and then they just kind of try to, for example, the definition of a woman, I don't know what the Webster dictionary woman, but really is based on biology,
and the body anatomy,
and the anatomy, and they talk about like intergender people, that people are like kind of mixed and everything, and it's so little of a population of the middle gender where they're kind of born with kind of both parts, that we can't make an exception just for such a small percentage of people. And it's just like, they just try to use that for an excuse, but real transgenders, you know, like they just kind of believe something that is not true. For example, people that have bulimia believe they're skinny, like they believe they're really fat, and they try to throw up to get more skinny, and they still believe they're fat. And we would never affirm that towards them because that's dangerous.
Exactly.
And when we subject a child to do all those things to, change their gender, change their anatomy, give them chemicals and things that change them to puberty, and they say, oh, it's easy. Like,
it's completely
reversible,
reversible. They say,
and it doesn't work like that. Like, the body does not work like that.
No,
and that's why, like, when I was connecting all this with social media, connect this with whatever you're taught at school, because there's 2 schools that are teaching it. That's one of the reasons why I don't really have TikTok, because when I had TikTok, I didn't even. I had a TikTok. I tell people I didn't have a TikTok, but I did have a TikTok. I have an account, but I only had it for like 2 weeks. So it wasn't like that long. Secondly, I didn't have a TikTok. I only had it for 2 weeks, but I never got on it.
Mine is deepest secret. Okay. Yeah, TikTok.
I
still have TikTok, and I watch some funny videos.
Yeah, but
you gotta be careful what you watch.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, but
sometimes you can't control it because of the algorithms and all that. They try to send you those things specifically.
Yeah, and what I saw, and like I hold to Christianity so much. What I saw was a lot more like how do I explain it? Just so much like sin in a sense.
Yes,
maybe because I started off, but it's just like sin just exploded and made a social media account.
It's full of it.
Yeah, it's just like full of just the flesh on there. Just like the culmination of all flesh onto TikTok. And I saw that and I was like, this ain't for me. And then I knew that I was gonna get addicted to it. And I see people like young kids developing their brains, still 16, 17, even sometimes 18, they're still developing their brains.
Well, even 7, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, like since they're little, because now, and I don't want to blame the parents, but I want to blame them. Because like, why you give the phone to the kid and be like, watch TikTok? Do you know what is there?
It's just some random stuff there. And that's like
not even YouTube is safe now.
It's just so unsafe. And there's so much bad things that show up in there. And I don't know, I'm only 21 and I'm not thinking
I'm 22.
Oh, you're already 22?
Yes.
When was your birthday? I forgot.
February 3rd.
Sorry, guys. I don't know his birthday.
I invited you, but you were like, I'm busy. I don't want to go to your house. Just kidding. He didn't say that. He did. Just kidding.
Bro, she's calling me out, man.
Sorry. Shout out to Manny. I'm going to my birthday.
Follow my Instagram. Oh, wait. I don't have Instagram anymore. Yeah. I don't have Instagram. I got hacked. Anyway. So.
Just throw
hey, but subscribe. Subscribe because I feel.
Yeah. I do have Instagram, though. You want to follow me?
We'll put his Instagram on the description.
I need more followers, and we need more viewers. How about that?
Subscribe and give it a like, guys. Give it a comment on this video. But anyway, back to that.
Back to the topic.
So he talks about I think in social media should be. I don't know. As someone that maybe I don't have kids yet, so I don't know, but. And, I don't know how easy it is to do all of this, but, as a parent, you should be very careful, showing what your kid has on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook.
Yes.
And TikTok, because you just never know what's being indoctrinated in there. The media is just full of just things from the world. Obviously, you can show them Christian stuff, Christians and things like that. But I don't know. It's so bad. Even like schools are getting so bad. Even like my own parents have been considering, like even my little brother, to take him to a Christian school and stuff like that. And
which it will be like a really good decision.
Yeah, a good decision because
not because sin is not there, it's because the things that he is gonna be like
be influenced by
are gonna be way different than the ones out there.
Yeah,
and to start landing, because I don't know if you noticed, but we are
sorry, bro. I got
almost.
Anyway, yeah, we're
30 minutes in. So.
I don't know. Just give me your ideas. Otherwise, this whole time it's just been me. But just to land, what else do you kind of think? Just to land.
Well, honestly, like I was saying, just because you think that you're right doesn't make you completely right.
Right.
Just because I think I'm right doesn't make me completely right.
Yeah.
Because what I believe is not just based on what I think. It's true,
Yeah.
It's believed like
the truth.
But but a supernatural encounter with the Lord by science. Like I had to study a lot to like, because kind of like you were back in the days. I don't know if you guys know, but Manny back in the days was kind of like agnostic.
Yeah.
I went through that phase too, you know? So like, I was kind of like, okay, I was raised and I believe that there is a God, but is it Jesus though?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, you need to do your research. You need to have that encounter with God. Just because the research says that Jesus was was here, he is the true God, doesn't mean that you're gonna be serving him. You know?
Right.
You need to have an encounter with him to serve him.
Yeah, you have to be full of the Holy Spirit.
Of course. And just because you guys, if there is any people from the community, LGBTQ community here, I want to tell you guys something. We love you all.
Yeah, we love you.
No matter what. And because we love you guys, we are trying to like make you understand what the truth is. Because if we didn't care about you, we would let you live the way you want to live, even though it's the wrong way.
Right.
Why? Because whenever God's come and He gonna get His people, we're gonna be up there. And you guys will not.
Right.
I don't want to say where you all gonna be, but like you can imagine.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, you know what, you need to follow this because if not, we're gonna kick. We're not gonna hurt you. And if there's people that hurt you, they're doing the wrong thing.
Right.
Because all we can do is pray for you and tell you your mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we have mistakes too, but we try to fix it day by day.
Right.
And sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but you let me talk. So just mute me, okay? Just mute me.
The point of this podcast is to say, you know, God loves you, Jesus loves you, and we love you so much that we don't want to send you to a place of torment, and we love you so much that we want to show you the true love of Christ.
Yes.
The eternal love of Christ that maybe, you know, he's experienced, I've experienced, where I just have the peace of the Lord, and where God took me into places where I was just in a dark place, where God cleansed my heart, cleansed me, and gave me a new spirit. So, yeah, that's
if you guys could understand for 1 second the peace that you feel when you're in the presence, you will just give everything to Him. Yeah. Like, let me tell you that. That's all I can say. Yeah. That freshness that you feel, like you feel so light. And let me tell you, I'm 250 pounds, and I feel like I feel super light when I'm in the presence.
Oh my God. Yeah, bro, that's right. But it's and so if you are watching from that community, we really just care about the truth. We care about what is true and what is obvious, and what God has planned for you and what God really created as us.
Because you were born with a purpose.
Yes, we were all born for a purpose. So, you know, that's what this podcast is really about. But I hope you guys give us a like, give us a comment, so the algorithm could be pushed, that we could, you know, be suggested to other people. Because if you give it a like, other people watch it. It's like a certain sense of like sharing on YouTube.
Yeah.
And on also subscribe if you're not subscribed, and on Facebook, you know, you gotta share.
Yeah, share, like, give us a like in our page on Facebook. Then give it a like to the video or heard it, and then share it. Drop us a comment. What do you think? How do you think we can improve on this podcast? Give us like pretty much feedback, you know.
And if you have any topics you guys want to talk about,
you guys wanted to talk about, and you want to be involved in it, contact us. Like,
yeah. And we're thankful for you to watch, and hope to see you soon.
Hope you guys have a blessed day.